get you some. Oh, yeah. Mate, it's lucky she can cook. Wow! G'day lovelies, welcome back. Alrighty, I'm doing a bonus savoury because not everybody likes tuna and I want everyone to be able to have a crack at something. So baked cheese cauliflower. Oh, I used to make this all the time years ago and I haven't made it in ages, so I gave it a crack a couple of weeks back and I'm going to try something a little bit different. So the first thing we need is a small cauliflower. I'm not sure if you class that as small, but that's as small as I could get. Alright, first thing we want to do is get rid of all the leaves. Once we've done that, we now want to cut the flowerets, I think they're called, off. So you want to go as close as you can to the stem and start chopping them off, and we want to have them nice and big. Once we've done that, we now want to chuck them in a big pot and cover it with water. Once we've done that, we now want to stick it on the stove top. We want to bring it up to a boil, then turn it down to a simmer, and we want to simmer them until they're cooked. So you can stick a knife in and they're soft, they're cooked. Then we want to drain them really well. Alright, while that's cooking, we'll prepare everything else. So for the topping, we need 1 cup of fresh breadcrumbs, which works out to 2 standard slices of bread. It doesn't matter if it's stale or fresh. So we want to chop them up. So I'll do them nice and skinny one way, and then I'll turn them around and cut them really, really small the other way. Now for the topping, we're going to need 20 grams of butter in a small saucepan, and then we'll set both of them aside for now. Now for the cheese, you can use any cheddar cheese you like, but I absolutely love these shelf cheeses for sauces. They are brilliant in cooking. So we need 30 grams grated for the topping, and we're going to need 60 grams grated for the cheese sauce. Now this one I bought at Woolies, so you can get these at Woolies at Coles, and at the IGA and Foodland you can get the craft one, and they are exactly the same thing. They were both bought out by one of the companies. 60 grams of cheese works out to 1 packed cup. Alright, we set that aside for the sauce. The 30 grams of cheese is half a cup. What we want to do is put that into our breadcrumbs, and then we want to really mix them through together. Once we've done that, we set that aside. For the cheese sauce, we now want to get out a large saucepan and put roughly 45 grams of butter in there. So we're going to need 3 tablespoons of plain flour, so just get that out ready to go. And we need 1.5 cups of milk ready to go. And we've already got our cheese ready to go, so we're all ready to go. So we now need to get an oven-proof dish ready. This is pretty much the smallest one I've got, so it's gonna have to do. Alright, you're gonna have to excuse the lighting, it's not too good over here. First thing we want to do is put our saucepan on a medium heat and melt down our butter. Okay, once our butter has melted, we want to add the 3 tablespoons of flour. We want to mix it through really well until there's no lumps. Alright, once we've done that, hopefully you can you see how it's starting to bubble now? We've got to wait until it does that. As soon as we do that, we want to time it for 1 minute, and we want to keep stirring it, and this is how we cook out the flour. So whack your timer on for 1 minute and just keep stirring. Okay, 1 minute later and we've cooked out the flour. We now want to get our milk and just slowly add it and just keep stirring. Okay, once we're about halfway through and we've got most of the lumps out, just pour the rest in. Okay, now we just want to constantly stir it until it comes up to a boil and starts thickening, and as you can see at the moment it doesn't coat the spoon at all. Alright, our cauliflower is just about to start boiling, so now I'm going to preheat my oven at 200 degrees Celsius. Alright, once it thickens up enough, you'll see as you move it around you can just see the bottom as you're doing it. That's usually, you can tell when it's thick enough. And it now coats the back of the spoon. Alright, we take it straight off. Alright, I've just got to keep it over here a bit because of the steam. Now we want to add our cheese. And we want to keep stirring it through until it's melted. Alright, once we've got that beautiful and smooth, we want to add some salt and pepper. As little or as much as you like. So what I'm going to do now is just stick a lid on it and set it on the stove top off the heat. Alright, so when they finish cooking, what I like to do is take them out of the water and I'll stick them in the strainer the right way up, and then hopefully all the water that gets trapped, if you stuck them like that, all the water would get trapped into the bottom of them. So keep them up the right way and stick them all in your strainer. While we leave them sit there to drain properly, we now want to put our 20 grams of butter on the stove top and melt it down. Alright, once that's melted, we want to pour it over our bread mix. And we want to just toss it through quickly and get all the bread coated in the butter. Alright, and then set it aside for a sec. Alright, grab our oven proof dish. Now we want to get our cheese sauce. Give it a good mix through. Alright, we want to put less than half on the bottom, so I like to just coat the bottom. So I'll just put 2. That will do. Alright, this time I'm going to put them in upside down. So it might not look as pretty as when you do it the other way. But my theory is when we put the cheese over the top, hopefully a lot of it will get stuck on the insides of the cauliflower. Whereas when we've got it over the other way, and when it's put in the oven, usually the cheese goes, you know, like melts over the top of it and all goes to the bottom. So I'm hoping we can trap a little bit. Alright, once we've done that, we now want to get the rest of our cheese sauce and we want to dribble it over. I'm just going to put it over all the bottom bits first and then cover the rest of it with whatever's left. Oh mate, I love the smell of cauliflower. Alright, once we've covered it as best we can. Alright, we want to get our topping and sprinkle it all over. Once we've done that, bang her in the oven.
Oh yeah.
15 minutes later in my plain electric oven.
Oh baby.
Oh, stop it. I can tell from here it's worked perfectly. Alright, I'll take a bit out and try and show you the bottom. Oh, look at this. Oh, mate, give it a crack. Your family is going to absolutely love it. Leftovers, you could probably cover it in Glad wrap and whack it in the fridge. And then say the next night, maybe put some in a bowl and nuke it and whack it with your next meal. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Toodles.